Hey y'all, welcome to Cuppy's Crochet Co. And today, in my mess, we are going to be making this cute little coffee cup cozy thing. So, jumping right in, and I promise this is going to be my last one for a minute. And let's jump on in. You're going to need a stitch marker, and this is what I'm using as usual because it's easy. 4 worsted weight yarn, a yarn needle, and a size H or 5.0 millimeter hook. And let's jump right in with a slip knot. And this is how I make mine. Using 2 fingers, wrap it around again, and I'm gonna make sure my tail is kind of short because we are just going to crochet over that so we don't have to sew in. Pull it tight and chain 30. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. Make sure to keep that straight and slip stitch to the very first chain. Go through and chain 1 and into the very first where we just did our slip stitch into that chain 1, single crochet. And now making sure you're going over your tail, unless you just want to sew that in, single crochet into the next one. And all the way around, 3 and 4. Counting back, 1, 2, 3, 4. Putting in my stitch marker here, and you're going to continue that all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker for a total of 30 single crochets. And I will meet you back at the stitch marker for round 2. Okay, and this is how I mark it off on my junky little pad where you see. So round 1, I'm going to go ahead and mark it off to say it's complete because I'm going to complete it now. So round 2, we're going to pull our stitch marker out, if I can get to it, and into our very first single crochet we are going to single crochet. Just into that one. Now we're going to do a puff stitch. So yarn over, go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 and hold, yarn over, going in the same stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through and hold, yarn over, go in that same stitch one more time, yarning over, yarn over, one of the favorite words we love, yarn over. And now you should have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over one more time and pull through all 4 loops. for your puff stitch. Now you have 2, so I'm going to go ahead now, 1, 2, and place our stitch marker. Let's do that one more time. With the same pattern, we are going to single crochet into the next. So that makes 3, and now we're going to puff stitch again, which is just half double or double, whatever, but 3 into 1. So we're going to go in 1, yarn over, 2, yarn over, and 3, yarn over, and pull through all 4 loops. Single in the next, and a puff stitch in the next. 1, 2, 3, and 4 loops. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around until you get to your stitch marker, and I will be back at the end of round 2 for round 3. Alright, round 2 is now complete, so marking that off. And you should have landed on a puff stitch. Removing our stitch marker, we're going to single crochet into the very first stitch where we just removed our stitch marker. So you're going to single crochet into a single crochet, and then in the puff stitch you're going to single crochet into that one, replacing our stitch marker. I know a lot of people replace theirs like as soon as I get done with the first one, but it's just easier for me after I do the second, third, or well, I do everything usually in even numbers, so either 2 or 4. So that's 2, and single crochet into the next, and all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker. And I will be back for round 4. Round 3 is now complete, so marking that off. Round 4, removing our stitch marker, we are going to single crochet into gunshots, how lovely, into that same, so single crochet and now another puff stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and pull through all 4 loops, putting our stitch marker back in. Now single, and you guessed it, another puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, and all the way through. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and if you're counting, then every row is always going to have 30 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puff stitches is what I have in total. So you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around. We're on the puff stitch row, so next will be single, and then single puff, single, single puff, for a total of 11 rounds. So if you remember, 1 was single, 2 is the one with the puff. So you go all the way around, and if you lose count or forget to mark anything off, just remember you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds of puff stitch rows. You know what I mean. You're gonna have 5 puffs at the end, and this is what it's going to look like. And I'm going to continue this pattern all the way around until I get to the 11th row, and then I will meet you back at the stitch marker. But just remember, if you want yours shorter than this, don't know why, because for me, I think 5 is just perfect to fit in your hand at the bottom of your cup. But you can also make it longer too, so be creative. It's up to you. And I will meet you back shortly at the stitch marker, where it'll look a lot more like that. Be right back. Okay, so I just finished round 11, and I already cut my string, yarn, whatever. Pulling out my version of a stitch marker, we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch, which would be the first stitch, and pull that right on out. Loading up our yarn needle, and sewing it in, going into that same stitch. I think, yeah, that's how I do it anyway, just to make the little nub go down a little bit more flush. Through the next, in and out, and back up. Whee! Bloop. And I'm kind of trying to get it a little tight in here. And of course it doesn't want to cooperate with me. And back to the beginning. And I'm going to come right back around. Trying to keep it nice and tight, so that I can get it down as flat as I can here, and pull on it some more, cut our yarn, not to project, that wouldn't be great. And see, the tighter you get it, the more flush looking it's going to be. And I'm going to come, yeah, that's wanting to pop out of that side. And I can live with that. Next project, I'm unsure of right now. I think I'm going to do a Santa hat. Not sure, because I've been trying to make pom-poms and they're not turning out so great. So, just to give you a heads up, whenever I do get to it, hopefully I can start on that very soon. I'm going to figure out how to do a pom-pom, but I'm not going to do one of those on camera if I decide to do that. But anyway, I've got some bells that I may use instead. Don't know, not sure. But here's what my next project is going to look like. This is the back, obviously, but it's not too obvious. So be ready with your white yarn and your choice of color for our little elf slash Santa hats. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, for me anyway, looking at it. This is a burgundy color and this is red, but you're going to start with white and go with whatever color you choose to go with on that. And I'm looking for the pattern. I found it, but it doesn't say what hook size, if I can remember, and I know I can. It is also going to be a EFGH hook, 5.0 millimeter. So anyway, be prepared because Christmas is upon us. So hopefully I'll be able to get on that soon. So until next time, I hope you have a very wonderful morning, noon, night, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. And please don't forget, help me to help you and help others by liking, subscribing, and for all future uploads, hit my little bell here on the bottom right, somewhere over here, so that you'll be notified each and every time I have a new upload. And feel free to share my videos on your social networking sites or with friends, family, etc. Anyway, have a great morning, noon, or night, and bless you all. Till next time, bye.